Hi, this is Janey, Imaani, and welcome to Emotional Awareness. So the first logical fallacy that we'll be looking at today is the straw man argument. So in the straw man argument is when somebody attacks a position or an argument that you actually didn't even hold. And they exaggerate or change what you meant because it's easier to refute than the original argument. So an example of that would be, say if the wife says to the husband, oh, this car that we have, I don't think it's really running right. Maybe we need to buy a new one. And then the husband responds, oh, so you want us to buy a fancy brand new car? It's not like we can afford a Lamborghini. And so as you can see there, the wife wasn't really saying that she wants a fancy brand new car, but the husband was responding to an argument that she didn't really make. Okay, so another example would be, say if, the husband says to the wife, oh, when your boss came over the other day, I felt like he was trying to get you to do more work than you actually have time for. And the wife responds, no, he wasn't. He wasn't trying to say that at all. It's like you don't respect me, or you don't respect my work, and you don't really want me to do well in my career. So in a straw man argument, you're often left thinking, hold on, that's not really what I meant. That's not really what I was trying to say, because the person sort of distorted your actual point. And then, now you're talking about something else, and you can't even discuss the thing that you really wanted to say because it all got lost in the disagreement. And so that's why it's called, straw man argument, because it's made out of straw, because it's weak in its very nature. Okay, the next one that we're going to look at today is the tu quo qui fallacy. So tu quo qui, which is Latin for you too, is called the appeal to hypocrisy because it distracts from the argument by pointing out the hypocrisy in the opponent. And so that's when they dismiss your viewpoint because they think that you're inconsistent with the argument itself. So an example of that would be you're at the dinner table and you tell your kids, don't play with your phone while you're eating. And they say, why would I listen to you? Because you're on your phone all day. Or another example would be, say, if you're talking to your friend about reducing plastic waste and she responds, oh, I don't know why you bother using reusable bags when you have such a gas-guzzling car and a house made out of wood. And so in a tu quo qui argument, they say the person is probably trying to shift the attention from being on themselves to somebody else's actions because they have a guilty conscience and they don't really want to look at it themselves. And so this is definitely a tricky one because we obviously want to be aware or cognizant of giving advice to people that we struggle with ourselves, right? Like there's nothing more annoying than somebody telling you to do something that they're not following themselves and they're not even aware of it. But I do think if you know what you're trying to wrestle with when you're bringing it up to somebody else and you're trying to figure it out with them, then they don't have a right to attack you in that way. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at today is the appeal to pity. So this logical fallacy can appear as emotional manipulation because it appeals to the compassion or the emotional sensitivity of others when it's not really strictly relevant to the argument itself. And so, for example, would be, say if you turned up late to a meeting and instead of sort of sincerely apologizing and recognizing how your actions impacted others, you would say, oh, I was late because I was not feeling good today because there was so much traffic, because I had so much work to do. And so what you're doing there is, instead of looking at your own mistakes or, your own inadequacies, you're diverting the attention by getting people to feel sorry for you. Okay, so the last one today is hasty generalization. So this is one of the most common logical fallacies, right? So that's when you overgeneralize and use words like always, never, all the time, like you're never on time, you never take me out, you're always late, you never support me, etc. And the biggest problem with that would be that when we use a hasty generalization, because it's inaccurate, the person can easily dispute our claim. And so when we overgeneralize, it's like we give people way too much room to disagree with us, right? Because they can easily respond with, but what do you mean? I do support you, or I did take you out on your birthday, or I wasn't late yesterday, or something like that. And so, if we just simply added qualifiers like maybe, sometimes, often, that time, yesterday. So essentially, if we make it more accurate and specific, it's less likely that our point will get lost. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And next Wednesday, we'll be looking at a few more of the logical fallacies or ways that people misinterpret or misunderstand us. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. That's next Wednesday. Bye.